we catch up with 2018 Ambassador Cristen Jester about her 1,000 Miles of Adventure Challenge. What gave you the idea for 1,000 Miles of Adventure? How did it start?
Back in 2017, I discovered the Great Cycle Challenge that raises money for kids' cancer research. And that kind of got it started with the number goal. Later that summer, I had discovered also Adventure Mama's initiative, and I joined them on their expedition to the Wimminooch Wilderness in Colorado and had a fantastic time and loved the ladies. They inspired me. They were amazing. They were all very different, and it kind of blossomed into that, to applying for an ambassadorship and making this project goal.
What is 1,000 Miles of Adventure?
A goal to reach 1,000 miles through human or nature power. So anything from hiking to kayaking to mountain biking or road biking and even sailing.
What kinds of training did you do to prepare for 1,000 miles of adventure?
Well, the training from the year before really led up to feeling like I had a good foundation going into it. But it also was training on the go. So every time I went on a run or a bike ride or something like that, it was intended to kind of build on the last time and get a little stronger and go a little farther until I was able to do some longer adventures later on in the year.
What were the challenges that you had during the 1,000 miles of adventure?
Mostly time. Time was a big one, and realizing really quickly that it really does take a village, especially when you are a parent and you work and you have side gigs and all kinds of stuff going on. You've got to have the people there to support you, and I was really fortunate with having a nice supportive village there. Other than that, mostly mental and getting out there, but time was the biggest, I'd say.
Were there any distractions you encountered that pulled your attention away from the 1,000 miles of adventure?
We are road schooling, living in an RV. Our goal was for half the year until the truck had issues. We blew a head gasket and had to do a lot of repairs that took a lot of time. So that whole plan went out the window, and with it, the plans that I'd made for the 1,000 miles in all the places we'd go. So I had to adapt, and that's just the nature of it, right?
What was your favorite adventure during the 1,000 miles of adventure?
I really enjoyed getting mountain biking again. I hadn't done it for 15 years, and when I discovered that you could rent amazing mountain bikes in great places to ride, it changed everything, and it was so fun to get back out on the trails again and do that. It quickly made me fall in love with the McKenzie River Valley and Oregon, not only because of the mountain biking, but getting to paddleboard down the river was awesome.
What was your most challenging adventure?
Most challenging, I'd say, was doing the Katy Trail in Missouri, because it's a long trail that a lot of people take 5 days-ish for, and I decided to see what I could do in 3. So I was really physically trying to push myself and go farther, and that brought on a whole new level of digging deep that I hadn't done before.
What was your scariest moment during the 1,000 miles of adventure?
It was on the Katy Trail for sure. You know, there are times, I do a lot of solo adventures, and there are plenty of times where you have to listen to your intuition about something. But on this one, I decided to take a train. I didn't count that in the mileage. I took a train ride for 30 miles of it and had a blast. But the train dropped me off on the other side of the river. So I had to cross this really old, really narrow, really fast iron bridge to get over to the trail again. And everybody that I had talked to said, don't do it, don't ride over it. And when I saw it, that was definitely true. The one taxi service in that town was closed on the weekends, and so I hitchhiked, and that was putting a lot of faith in humanity and myself, and it worked out beautifully. This woman showed up with a bike rack, understood what I was doing, and it was just amazing. So that was a little humbling for sure.
Did you complete your 1,000 miles of adventure?
I did not. You know, there is a little part of me that's bothered by that, and yet that's part of the lesson, right? The original goal was to see what I personally could do in this way, and it's okay. It turns out that the adventures and the journey within it, I know it's cliche, but it's true. That was what the adventure was all about. And instead of looking at it as a number, I had to start looking at it as more of an experience and enjoying where I was rather than where I just wanted to get to. Being adaptable makes all the difference.
What is next?
Well, part of what happened this year that really threw us for a bit of a loop was that we became sailboat owners. And it's super exciting and one of those moments that you just, oh my goodness, it sort of changed everything. So we're working towards that. That's coming up, and oh my goodness, it's really exciting.
Why do you support the Adventure Mamas initiative, and why should others?
The Adventure Mamas is a really unique group in that they are very focused on the health and well-being of all different kinds of moms, and really parents at large, because we're all in it together, right? And when I became a mom, there were a lot of things that stayed the same, and there was plenty that was completely different. And I found myself needing to find people who understood what I was experiencing and also understood that lifestyle of adventure and outdoor activities and stuff that I loved and craved. When I found AMI, I felt like I found a lot of kindred spirits and quickly made friends. And really, the reason why I think other people should, whether it's financially supporting them or social media or coming to events, whether it's local hikes or national events, is that maybe it's you that needs that kind of support group, or maybe it's somebody around you that you're that person for. But regardless, it's a great group, and they're doing incredible things to open up conversations about postpartum health and motherhood, redefining it. It's awesome.
Thank you for taking time to watch the interview. We look forward to more fun times with the Adventure Mamas initiative. Be sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook. That way you can connect with fellow badass moms out there. And while 2018 is soon to be over, you can see more of Cristen's adventures from the Florida Keys to the Oregon coast and lots in between by checking out our YouTube channel, Keyword Adventure. We know that not all adventures are epics, but in life the keyword is adventure. Help us out, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our adventures. Click on the link below if you'd like to connect via social media or you enjoyed the music. You'll also find links to the Adventure Mamas initiative.